Hello, it's 9 p.m. in Djibouti. It's time to English news, and we have for tonight headlines. Concerning Djibouti International Meeting, Anglais Suleiman, winners of 800 meter. And concerning the Minister of National Education, a meeting of formalizations of the cooperative of young diploma in the constructions of the building. For the International Sea, Middle East tension is has the dawn of the day of Eid. Welcome in our newsroom. The Djiboutian champions Anglais Suleiman has won this afternoon the 800 meters men in the international competition, which is held at the Hassan Gouled Stadium, which has opposed several great athletes come to all the regions of East Africa. Anglais Suleiman is a great athlete who has repeatedly won the major competitions of these kinds in the world. He has won several medals of gold and silver.
كانت اللي كسبنا كادو أبولا كنا كادو راعينا موي عابا سرحتك محي مرسل سكسدمه جبوتي سيدو حيطها فها سيسيانا من سنجلي كادو طبعا كهاي عمبلا هاي جودك كان ترك اللي كترنا كنا كادو كاك عمبلك راعينا موي شعبي دي حكاية إنها كله كاكاي نعرف تسنني كاميرا لسني ورساي ولا يا عمبلك Anglais Suleiman بلادي سيدنا بقول لك يا خالد رنتي تاجرش جيبوتي إلا ما هم قويان يجا يا أبدي أنا ركلا يا له أوديري كني تاسيسي صورة كاتوجو كوليسو أرد كيان لو كنت راحني سيدنا بقول لك أن شعرنا لنا قاوينا أنا خطيبي وربيع كعالم جيبوتي أيانا سليمان oo isagu markaysaayay Suleiman ay toonka tawaya subaxti kama ka kaagay isi simbiluku oo samaxay
The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, and his colleagues of Secretary of State responsible for social affairs, Ms. Muna Usman Aden, have led the work of meetings of formalization of the cooperation of young graduates in the constructions of the building. The meeting took place in the presence of senior executives in both departments and by of the whole of the members of cooperative of young graduates who are engaged in the constructions of 10 social housing in the city Nasib. After the last phase of the said site, the main FOB has decided to go to the step of formalization of the cooperative, and this is in collaboration with the Secretary of State for Social Affairs. Also, the members of cooperative have been sensitized on the set of roles that governs the life of a cooperative, the legal rules, but also the fundings, values and major principles such as solidarity, social responsibility and democracy within the group have been discussed at the length. Then the members of the cooperative have elected their president in the person of Mr. Qasim Burhan Ahmed, who has appointed in the vice chairman, the secretary general and his treasury among the competitions. The young president thanked his peers of their confidence and is committed to serve the best interests of the cooperative On this, the MOFOP and his colleague, the Secretary of State for Social Affairs, have decided to launch the procedure for obtaining the receipt of the creations of the cooperative and the opening of a joint account in the popular case. For his part, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, said government has reiterated his commitment to make a material and technical support to this cooperative during the first 6 months and its existence, and continue the search for the other markets to its benefit. And we have a large meetings of Committee of Governors of Central Bank of COMESA was organized in Djibouti Palace Kempinski yesterday morning under the chairmanship of the governor of the Central Bank of Djibouti, Mr. Ahmed Usman Ali, and the director of the Monetary Institute of COMESA, Mr. Ibrahim Zaidi. The objective is to harmonize and coordinate of the economic policy, monetary, financial, which plays an essential role not only to stimulate trade and growth within the COMESA, but also to streamline the use of resources to achieve the objectives of the convergence and a full economic integration. The ceremony was also a question to take over responsibility for changing the Committee of Governors of the countries of COMESA. Mr. Ahmed Usman Ali became officially the president of this committee for a period well determined. The meetings of the participations of several governors of the countries of COMESA and financials will continue until 29th. The ceremony saw the participation of the Minister of Trade and Commerce, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Arbahim. In his speech, the Governor of Central Bank, Mr. Ahmed Usman Ali, thanked the governor of countries of COMESA and has got all the achievements of the common market on COMESA to note of trade procedures and simplified customs standards and harmonized. For his part, the Minister for Trade and Commerce, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim, explained the major advance and achievements of the countries of COMESA in the international trade, in order to strengthen the monetary stability of the region and to intensify trade and commercial trade in this part of the world. It has placed much emphasis on the objectives of the symposium, which was meeting the countries for a better regional integration and a strong currency. And at the auspice of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, the 3 rounds international meeting of Djibouti is opened this afternoon at the Goulet Stadium, organized by the 3 consecutive years in Djibouti. The 3 rounds international meeting saw the presence of the large crowd came to support the athletes competitions. Together the year several international athletes from 14 countries. The novelty for this edition is to organizations of women's races of the 800-meter competitions have been held under the supervision of the international expert and delegate of the IAF and international federations of the athletic being an international meetings counterpart in the results as valid on the spot by the team accredited by the International Federations of the Athletics. The first results had followed to the 800 meters men. The Kenyans Alpha is qualified first before the Ethiopians Ashangi Debele. To 800 women for the Ethiopians could be the first places before another Ethiopians, and has 3 rounds place of Kenyan Josephine Chelinga. And for his part, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, in an interview explained that this edition of the big sport meetings is very important because they brought together as many athletes from Africa and the world. And we have also, concerning the national news, the prefect of the city of Djibouti, Mr. Osman Bide, Gire has chaired a meeting yesterday of awareness on ways to strengthen the efforts of the addictions of wreck of vehicles and disbursements of illegal occupation. This meeting, which was held in the conference room of the prefecture, has seen the participation of sub-prefect in the different districts of Djibouti and the municipality of Balbala, as well as the head of the neighborhood and many notables, dignitaries and other guests. This initiative comes just a few days before the launch of a large-scale operation aimed to the addictions of wreck of vehicles and disbursement of illegal occupation is planned operation from 1st April 2008. The prefect of the city of Djibouti, Mr. Osman Bile Gire, has listened to during the meetings of awareness and grievance of the health of neighborhood and the urgent needs for the success of this process. We act in the perspective of the curbs of anarchy, and we will implement in this because we intend to improve the images and to give back to our capitals is chandeliers of yesterday, said the prefect of the city of Djibouti, Mr. Osman Bile, has urged in his intervention the participants and the populations of this campaign to improve the environment of the city of Djibouti. And we have also the national airlines Air Djibouti to perform yesterday morning the first commercial flight in the directions of the city of Bosaso. An operation is already foreseen and coordinate in advance. A strong delegation of company in Air Djibouti and of the representative of Puntland have traveled with the first commercial flight in the directions to the international airport of Bosaso. The high-level delegations was led by the managers and is responsible for the travels agencies of Air Djibouti, the outside Mr. Isa Goodil, and it was accompanied by directors of exploitations Kamal Daher Ibrahim and the representative of the Puntlands in Djibouti, and the whole of members of a crew of Air Djibouti signed aboard aircraft ultra sophisticated. And first, the crew of Air Djibouti is following starting their work and welcome the passengers departing the cities of Bosaso, as well as its passengers were received a warm hospitality on the part of the tips, who have spared no effort to ensure the tranquility and proper conduct of this first commercial flight in the directions of the city of Bosaso. After an hour of flight, the aircraft has landed on the tarmac of the Airport International of Bosaso. At the aircraft, the governors of the city of Bosaso, Mr. Yusuf Mohammed Bais, the mayors of the city of Bosaso, Abdisalam Bashir, as well as the high delegations have allowed opening up aims of the delegations of the company of Air Djibouti. Then the delegations of the company at Djibouti were at the investor living room of honor of the international airport of Bosaso, as well as the governor of the city of Bosaso. The delegation of Djibouti have had a maintenance to which they have referred to deep links of friendship and cooperation existing between the Republic of Djibouti and Puntland. By ESWA, the authorities of the city of Bosaso have expressed their satisfaction of the commence of commercial flight Air Djibouti, which just has times to the inaugurations of the first commercial flight Djibouti Bosaso, in order than a step among many others planned in the coming months. The establishment of an agency in Bosaso, as well that this first commercial flight of the national company is symbolic, has more of ties since it is at times that aircraft of the companies had not crowded the tarmac of the international airport of Bosaso. The governor of the city of Bosaso said in his commitment that these new connections of Djibouti Bosaso who will quickly become an instrument for which will further strengthen the exchange both human and trade between the two countries. Following the brief maintenance and his work of welcomes the delegations of the company Air Djibouti is led in the city to officially inaugurate the travel agency of company Air Djibouti. This new agency of the company Air Djibouti, which is located in a strategic corners and more specifically on the road to the international airport Bosaso, will now allow the inhabitants of the city of Bosaso to travel on board of a company reliable and on behalf for the company Air Djibouti. The tranquility and comfort of the passenger passes before any other things, in as well as the delegations of the company of Air Djibouti, accompanied on the authorities of the city of Bosaso, have inaugurated the new agency of travel of Air Djibouti and visit to these different premises of this agency. The High School of State of Djibouti has won the competitions of the press review organized at the French high schools in Djibouti. This school competition was in the framework on the celebrations of the Week of the Press and in the Francophonie ranges from 25 to 29 March 2018. These competitions organized by the French High School Kissel in the partnership with the MENFOP implement the achievement by the students of second and first of high school in the capitals of a work of synthesis on the information process in different organs of the press and on different relevant topics for a given public, not the involvement of the high schools, Kissel, Gebot High School of State, and Hodan and high schools of Balbala and Pika 12. These are the two institutions which are founded in the final today with the School of State of Djibouti, which won the competition stop. And it must be said that this pedagogical competition is aimed to develop among students to research work of the information is by variants and brackets, the identifications of sources, the sortings and the selections of information, and finally the reference through the oral communication for remained days and trainings. Information have been organized in the different high schools to prepare students and teachers from the opportunity for institutions to pre-select these best candidates to represent them in the phases of the competition's finals. In the framework of the policy of care of proximity to the population living in the area with difficult access that the Ministry of Health conduct, the mobile team of Tajura has made the activities of care of the vicinity of 20 February to 20 March. Each health post put at the disposal of population the minimum packages of activity. The mobile strategy provides medical coverage of the nomadic population resilience in remote area, the treatment of common diseases of the child, the growth monitoring and children, and reference of serious malnutrition, the prevention and control the communicable disease. And the auspice of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, it is in the book The Library of CDC Hajidi, always in the caravans of walking library of the CDC of Arhiba. The associations of Alfauza proceeded yesterday to the distributions of thousands of books for the strengthening of the library of CDC Hajidi. These collections of books assigned to the community library designed to fulfill the young people through the trips in the readings and to remedy their disease, and also to bring to the CDC one more reason for attendance of young readers. In addition, that this day has been able to the participation is invited to marks and borders by people animated by social struggle which have all responded present in the first line, the director of CDC, Ruqya, and the head of the service of CDC, Ahmed Ali, also present the top responsibles of CDC, the sages of neighborhood, and the young peoples of the city. On this part, the president of associations Al-Fawza mentioned in the margins of this speech the importance that this work present for young people, the sizes of means of document free of charge, and to perfect their disease. On this, he has held thanks to the principal sponsor of these donations, which is the community of diaspora of Djibouti to Belgium, for this offering, which bear for playfulness, particularly for children, which is commendable evidence of their considerations of their these attaches to the developed and homelands. Also had thanked the Department of Youth and Sport for their partnership and the interest that it always to our actions. And we have Peace and Milk Association has proceeded to the neighborhood of Warabali launched commercial companies of and promotions of the letterings improved. This project is implemented to allow the development of the necessary canals for coverage of improved toilet in the population in the popular neighborhood of Balbala. This program is financed by the French Agency for Development. This program offers the benefit for families to acquire hygienic toilets in which contribute to reduce transmissions of pathology linked to water or other vectors of disease. And concerning the international scene, Kurdish official says French President Emmanuel Macron has committed to sending some more troops to Syria. Hind Ibrahim for more detail. This is it for tonight news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.